Okay, welcome to Happy Reading. I'm not on camera today because I haven't done my makeup, but I wanted to get this video of my favorites done. I'm going to kick it off with my #1 recommended book. This is great for kids 3 through 6. That's not to say a 2-year-old wouldn't love it, but there are lots of flaps in it. It's a part of our Look Inside series, which features bite-sized chunks of information, the interactive flaps, great illustrations that will show just how the human body works, from the bones, the digestive system, which is everybody's favorite because it shows how poop is made and that your intestines are the length of a whale. This book is very, very fascinating. I've never heard any one of my customers who've gotten it say anything other than it's now one of our favorites. So the pages are thick and board-like, and then we have tons of other titles in this same series. If your kid is older than 6, get the See Inside Your Body version. One of the most unique books we have is a slot-through book. This is a classic. This has been around for forever. There's also a squirrel version called The Squirrel's Tale. It's called a slot-through book, where a mouse goes through the pages, follows the dotted line. There's slots on every page. It's hard to do one-handed, so I'm just gonna have you trust me. It comes in and out of the pages, and there's flaps to lift, and it makes kids giggle because he's trying to get crumbs. And then at the end, he thinks he's finally got it. Oh, but there's a cat. So it's super cute, very interactive, and it might inspire their imagination like it has my kid, who continues to play with it when we're not reading it. You Choose is an awesome book. I call this a hidden gem because it doesn't get a whole lot of play on the front lines, but I recommend it to a lot of people. There's fabulous spreads of illustrations with tons of details, like a lot going on. And there's a question to get them thinking. It's great for decision making. It's great for taking turns, learning patience, and sharing. We play it as a game, and we say if someone picked it, you can't pick it unless you want to share. And it's funny how territorial kids can be about something that's just so surreal and intangible, but it's a lot of fun. On the other end of the spectrum for ages, this is written for 8 and older to read. However, do not get it, because if your kid is younger than 8, this is one of our favorites. I just leave it out on the coffee table, and Weston will just sift through it, find a page that he thinks looks interesting, and has me read to him from it. The cool thing too is it comes with QRC codes you can scan and go online to learn more, such as scan the code for a day in the life of an Egyptian boy. It's a great way to bring the world to them without having them sit in front of a computer. We have an entire series called Picture Puzzle Books. This one is the Under the Sea version. There are several others like Farm and Zoo and Dinosaurs. These are gorgeous illustrated spreads, and then there's prompts on each page, such as who is juggling seashells, or what penguin has feathery tufts on its head. So it's great for vocab, great for observation skills. It's an all-around good lap time enjoyment it's not just a story, which I am always a fan of. One of our books that goes in and out of stock is Start to Cook. It's an awesome cookbook for even adults who are a little clueless in the kitchen. It has important facts about food, and then it also has healthy recipes, as well as some that are a little bit less healthy. So it's got something for everybody, and it's presented in a great way, flex binding, so you can lay it flat while you cook. Pair that with an apron, and you've got an adorable little gift. Brain Twisters is an awesome nonfiction book. It's chock full of information all about the brain and perceptions. It's a little bit more clever and brain twistery is why they named it that, than it is just a facts about how the brain works. They give examples, and there's little things you can try to test yourself, and it's just a real fun book for kiddos, probably 7 or 8 and older. You can always, of course, read it to them. Every preschooler needs this book. I love this. This is an alphabet book on steroids. Usually alphabet books just have a letter and a picture. This has everything. It has the letter, it has the picture, and then it has tons of little things that also start with that letter. And then it has alliteration. Even the elephants didn't have enough to eat as a teeny weeny mouse kept stealing their eggs. So it becomes a fun game for them to count how many times they hear that sound. This is the book that helped it click for my son that letters make sounds. Nothing else was doing it, but this book did. It's so much fun, even just for a nighttime bedtime story. Mysteries and Marvels of Nature is one of my newest faves because I just wasn't expecting it to blow me away. It's similar in format to the Children's Encyclopedia and some of the other reference books we have about animals. However, the content is a little less about just typical facts of animals and more about like the relationship between animals and the environment, which makes it what Weston calls it their superpowers. And it talks about like how frogs will survive. And it talks about the cool things that you probably don't know. The Peek Inside series is adorable. It's a flap-based series that is great for kiddos 2 and older. It's a whole lot of cute packed in a tiny little book. You can see the facts are not super complex. Like an elephant's nose is called a trunk. It can use it to suck up water and to squirt it out again. Tons of little flaps and peek throughs and cutouts. And there's several titles in this series. It's the Peek Inside. One of our brand new storybooks has become a fast favorite. Also available is a plush mammoth that goes along with the story that we've ordered and I can't wait to get. The cool thing about this picture book is it takes it to a new level with facts about different things you encounter in this museum. So many little flaps and peek throughs and stuff. Gorgeous illustrations. There's always something new to find out, and it's a cute little story about a brother mammoth looking for his baby brother. Our illustrated story series continues to be one of my favorite things we offer. My son is in love with them. He can't read them himself, of course. A lot of the vocab is above his head, even because he's almost 5. But we still read them and enjoy them, and he has learned a lot of vocabulary from these books. But the illustrations are awesome. If you have a reader who's 8 and older, they could possibly read it themselves. But there's several books in this series, so just look for the word illustrated stories and you'll see all of them come up, and let me know if you need help finding them. This one is a hit in a lot of classrooms, as well as homeschoolers or just people that want to bring the big world inside their doors. It's a great visual way to show the world around them. Every page has tons of flaps that'll show something little about that area. It is a lift the flap picture atlas that comes with a fold out poster in the back that you can hang on your wall of a map, as well as all the world flags. On the baby side, we've got one of these little mini treasure books that we also have My First 100 Words, My Wild Animal World, and My Farm Animal World, but this one is the count. Things to trace, things to count, simple math at the end, and then there's a matching game you can play in the back. You can build these as blocks. Makes a great baby shower gift as well. Last but not least, our classic Muddle and Match books. These are always a hit with kiddos from 2 through 6. At the book fairs and stuff, kids just rifle through these and start giggling. They can't even read it themselves half the time and they enjoy it, so even kids who can read on their own will probably enjoy making up different alliterative poems with they match, or they can garble it all up and make something crazy, and it's even more entertaining. And there's several books in that series. Look for Muddle and Match. Okay, that concludes my favorite favorites, but it's always changing, so if you didn't see something that you think would be your favorite, let me know and I'll find it for you. Thanks for joining.